Hey everybody, it's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I'm back. Yes, I'm back. I know it's been a while. I had to take a break because, a lot of y'all know I have a day job, and my day job sent me to training, and there was no way I was going to be able to do the show from there. I did try once, if y'all remember that episode, and I was sitting in the dark before the show was even almost over. So I said, okay, I can't keep doing that. So we took a little bit of a break, but now I'm back. So now let's move on to our next guest, Miss Malika Steeply.
Hey, Dr. Rhonda, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's
Good
good.
to see
That's
you
good.
again.
Malika, you have been just making all kinds of noise. I mean, I can't believe this is your debut novel and it's been doing so well.
It has, yeah. It's been a journey, and I've been enjoying the journey. It's been, and when you write a book, you have a specific way that you're thinking that it's gonna go, and then sometimes it might take a turn. But in this case, it went a different way, but it went the best way possible. So I'm enjoying everyone that I've met so far throughout this journey, everything that I've learned. So, I mean, I am not complaining whatsoever about
And
any
why
other
should
week or
you? I
happy
mean,
place.
not only is the book doing well, but you're winning awards. And I'm not even just
Yeah.
talking about my award. Yes, and I was
That-
excited about that. I think you were one of the first people to enter the contest. And I had nothing to do with any of the judging. I compiled everything. I put it on social media so people could vote, and then I took the top winners and I sent them to the judges. It was an independent. The judges didn't even know each other. They all
mm,
and so they didn't even have a chance to discuss the books amongst each other. So when they read the books, they scored the books based on their own opinions. They had nothing to do with anybody else. So that says a
mhm.
lot about you and the great things that you're doing with this book. And I saw that Mark was on there. He said, "Hello, Malika,
Yes.
award
Hey,
winner,
Mark.
third place winner." So
Yeah.
I was just really excited with the way the contest worked this year. For it to be my
Mhm.
inaugural contest and to get the caliber of books that we did, it was amazing.
Yes. It was, and I saw some of the books that were submitted, and I said, "Wow, look at this! This is, I mean, because just the fact there were so many dynamic authors with all of these fantastic stories to tell. I mean, it was just nice to be able to share this platform and this opportunity with them. So and I did want to thank the judges as well. One of them came to the event when you had the Black History Month literary weekend, and I had an opportunity to speak with him, and so yeah, I was just nothing more than grateful for that opportunity. So thank you for putting all of that together.
Oh no, thank you for being a part of it. I really appreciate that. And now, like I was saying though, this wasn't the only award that you won. You already even have a badge on your book itself, on your book cover, with another
Mhm.
award that you won. So tell me about that one.
Yeah, so this was for the International Book Awards, and I won. I was a finalist in the category of African American literature, And the next award that I won was also finalist in the I'm sorry, it'll come to me. I'm working on fumes right now, 3 hours of sleep. So it'll come to me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Indie Awards. I'm sorry. It's the Indie Awards.
See,
Um,
you're doing your thing. And now the book is an audiobook.
it is. It's an audiobook, and I could not be more excited about it. And this is what I've always wanted. I wanted to release the book and the audiobook together. However, I needed it to be a specific way. The story takes place in Louisiana, in Lafayette, Louisiana, and I wanted to be able to find actors who can capture the accent, the dialect, the language of Louisiana Creole, also known as Corivini. And
Yeah.
so I was able to find some dynamic narrators for that. And so yeah, they did a phenomenal job. I said, you know what, you guys, I will give you a little bit of creative control here, and you just take it away. And they had such a good time with it. So anyone who can have the opportunity to listen to it, please do so. It's narrated by Kay Gervais
Okay.
and Cliff Saint Laurent. And Kay Gervais is she is a beautiful narrator. I mean, everything that she puts her hands on, I mean, it just comes out just so fluidly, and she's just such a professional. And she lived in New Orleans for quite some time. She's a graduate
She's a
of
graduate of
Xavier University. And then we have Cliff Saint Laurent, who is from Lafayette. So everything that he read, like he was able to be like, yep, that he could read my book and say, yep, that's correct. Yep. um,
so you
so
can't be mad at that.
exactly. So yeah, he's a actor, dancer, singer, producer.
Wow.
So yeah, he actually came to me and he wanted to do. I knew him before, so he helped with the dialogue coaching before, and so he came and he said that he wanted to help work on this project. I said, okay, dude,
Work on
have
oh,
at
okay.
it. So
Well, well, that's great that you were able to find so many supportive people to
mhm.
support this project.
Yeah, the for the audiobook, yes. And when I was writing the book in itself, and I was looking for a publisher at the time. And I was looking for well, multiple publishers, and I had one who, you know, I knew that this one was going to work out. It was going to be perfect. And the editor came back and he said, yeah, you know, I like the concept, but you need to go back and learn more about your history. Now, this
Oh,
is coming from someone who was not of my hue, right? So, and he proceeded to tell me, you know, well, this wouldn't have happened and that wouldn't have happened, and so he was just very, you know, he was very nasty about it.
oh wow.
Yeah, I accept, you know, any sort of constructive criticism. I'm never going to turn down free advice from a
Right,
professional.
right.
So I'm waiting for that to happen, and you know, but instead he was just very negative about it. So I said, you know what? That just gives me confirmation that I need to release this book on my own. I can have
Mhm.
more creative control. I can do this and that. I can have control over what I want the cover to look like. You know, so that's what I ended up doing. And that was the absolute best decision because this project was so near and dear to my heart. And just like the audiobook is just so near and dear to my heart. So I'm so happy that everything worked out the way that it was supposed to.
And I'm happy for you. So I'm excited about the book because you also participated in the sample chapter in the interactive book catalog. And
Mm-hmm.
when I read just that sample chapter that you sent me, I was like, oh, I like this. And I'm from Louisiana myself. So when I see Louisiana stories done well, and I was just that one chapter kind of pulled me in because it was different. And the reason why I say it was different is because when we think of that era in time, we kind of think linearly. We don't think about people being able to be dressed up and going to galas and things like that. Like people who look like us did that. And it's not something that we fathom. So I was really glad that that was something that you were intentional about putting in the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I can recall even some of the first stories that I read as a kid and about slavery. And I all I knew and all I read was about slaves being on plantations, but I
Right,
didn't hear
right.
about slaves, at universities, building some of the buildings on university campuses. I didn't hear about some of those who were rented to entertain others at different parties and who were able to roam around. So it
What was that movie that came out a couple of years ago? I keep forgetting the name of it. About the he was a
The
violinist.
violinist. Yeah, it'll come to me. But yeah, I mean, and that's one of them that I had later learned about. You
Hmm.
know, and there's been others. There's one who was enslaved, but yet he was the first enslaved gentleman who was able to compose his own music and get it copywritten as someone who was enslaved. So, so there's all of these stories that are just fascinating to me, and a lot of yeah, I used to hear a lot of, oh, well, that was so long ago. We don't want to hear. We're over it. We don't want to hear too much about our that side of our past. But I think it's so important to honor those who were enslaved. Now that's not where our history began. Let's
Right,
let's make
right.
that clear. But those who did not have a voice deserve a voice right about now. And if someone is tired of hearing about those stories, okay, well, it's not for you. It's for those who need to hear these
Yes.
stories. And right about now in 2025, we need to continue to hear these stories.
And I feel like we need to hear more story. We don't need to, and I'm not saying that I'm tired of the plantation type stories, but I think we also need to know that there weren't people, everybody wasn't like that. That wasn't everybody's
Right.
reality. We need to hear
Exactly.
about some of those other stories as well. So I
Hmm.
think that's what I loved most about your book.
Thank you. And that's what that editor said. He was thinking that Danielle, the protagonist, should have stayed on the plantation. I'm like, who are you to tell me? First of all,
Exactly.
it's it's based on a true story. First of all, second,
Right.
who are you to tell me, man, who is not of my hue, about what and where someone that
And it
was
told you
enslaved
to
should
learn
be?
your history.
Totally to learn my history. Can you believe that? So, and I'm a historian. I'm a genealogist. So this is what I do.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was insulted, but I was fueled. So I thank him. Thank you, gentlemen, for saying all of those ridiculous things because that lit a fire under my butt, and I am going to continue on with this journey.
Well, now with that being said, you being a former journalist,
Hmm.
uh, did that help you along the way? I know you said you're a former genealogist as well, but you're also a former journalist. Did that help you along the way in researching for your book?
It did. It did. It helped me to first of all know my resources, and to be able to do the footwork, and and to not be intimidated to ask questions.
Right.
There are a lot of strangers who I met where I needed to know, hey, have you heard of this story, or have you? I was in contact with the coroner's office, so I had to let them know, hey, I'm a journalist. My name is Malika J. Stevely. I'm looking for information about. So yeah, so all of that helped me to move forward and to find, some information about this story that I've been researching, and other stories as well, and other projects that I'm working on too. So that in itself, and just really wanting to ensure that the narrative was correct, and ensuring that I was doing right by some of these individuals who were in the book. So
Wonderful. Now, I will tell you, one of the most powerful moments during the Ivory and Cream affair was when you held up the coin and you explained that coin. And I was wondering if you could tell that story tonight.
sure, yeah. So I have in the book, the protagonist Danielle, she's wearing a slave badge, and usually when I go and I speak to book clubs and other individuals and groups who've read the book, the number one question is always, what's a slave badge? And a slave badge is, and I wish I had a picture of it up, but in any event, a slave badge is a piece of metal. Usually, there's some that are made of steel, but there are some that are a little bit lighter, and they're all different in different shapes. This particular one is a square, and the front part of it said Annapolis, and it had shackles engraved in it, and it had a Confederate eagle on the
Mm,
front, and on the back it said 1802, public auction house, strong, healthy Negroes.
mm,
And so the one that I held up at the event, that one had the number 33 on it. And at the event, I was saying, what's heartbreaking is that I don't know who number 33 was. I don't know if there were multiple number 33s who wore that badge at that slave auction house. I don't know if it was a man, woman, or a child. Um, and so, this is one of those things that you can't find in most textbooks. I remember speaking to a group, and I was lecturing, and there was a young lady who was about 16 years old, and she said, she raised her hand and she said, you know, we learn a little bit about slavery, but we've never learned the psychology behind it, the systems behind it, and we definitely didn't know anything about the slave badge. And
mm.
so this enticed her to learn more about this part of American history. So yeah, so when I go and I lecture, I feel like it's important for people to actually see what a slave badge is, and for those who are okay with holding it or touching it, some of them just get goosebumps.
Yeah.
And they feel I had one lady on Saturday say, I felt chills going through me. So thank you for showing this, and thank you for allowing me to really put everything into perspective through this slave badge. So that's what a slave badge is
Mm,
essentially. And I forgot to also mention too that typically it was worn on like a strip of leather,
uh-huh.
and those who were enslaved who could go off of the plantation for whatever reason, they essentially wore this slave badge. And on most slave badges, it'll show who the plantation from which they came, and it sometimes might show the last name of their master, might even have the year on there. So to put it plainly, it was similar to a dog tag that our
Right.
people wore.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And I was trying to picture what that reminded me of, and that's exactly what it reminded me of.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it is sad that you will never know who the owner of that badge was or who had to
Well,
wear that badge.
well, that's what I'm finding out now, actually.
Hmm.
I'm in the process of receiving grants so that I can do more research and learn more about, number one, this auction house. Now I understand that there were several in Annapolis, but I need to know if they had any particular records, and if I could find out who number 33 was. So there's a story around all of that, and there's a story that I would love to tell about that. So
Wow.
so more
You
to
know,
come.
it also reminds me, last week I posted, I just started a series and Daniel, my producer, gave me the idea to do it, but every week I'm posting a different um, piece of little known Black history. And
Nice.
this past week, I posted the Kunta Kinte Memorial in Annapolis. And I don't know if you've been there, but it's beautiful, first of all. There are different quotes from the book, um, like a walk with plaques that lead to the actual statue of Alex Haley reading to children of different nationalities. And
Nice.
I posted that under my video and say Roots was a lie. I'm like, really? Tell me why it's a lie. You don't, but you can't. You can just say Roots
But
was a lie.
wow. I
So it's
mean,
like right now in this day and age. Now go ahead, Malika.
yeah, I mean, and it's
I think
infuriating that you have people. There's all of this evidence that there was slavery, and
mhm.
there's all of this evidence that the story of Kunta Kinte happened, and yet and
Right.
still you have folks who will always say that our history didn't happen, or it didn't happen this way, and
There
that's
are
that's
still
what's so
descendants of
infuriating.
Kunta Kinte today. They have a Kunta Kinte festival, and his descendants still attend that festival.
Hmm. That's why that's wild. But you know what? People are going to keep peopling, and so
Yep.
just we have to, with everything, we have to rise above all of that, and we have. So let them talk.
And that's what I said. I'm like, and what I just told him, I said, so we're just supposed to take your word for it because you said it's a lie. Tell us why it's a lie.
Right.
I'm still waiting on him to respond though.
Right. Of course. Yeah. Tell him you don't want none of this.
Right. I said, people are going to keep peopling is such a bar. Yeah, Malika got bars.
Oh my
So
goodness.
what is your goal now? You've written the book, you've created the audiobook, you've won the awards, and I see that you just mentioned that you are in the process of getting grants to do further research. So what is the next step for you?
So the next step, so there's two things. One, I would love to I would love to get more grants to finish the research for this next novel, which is called Number 33.
Oh, wow.
And I want to so I've slated the release for 2026. So yeah, so that's what I'm working on now. And so the next thing that I would love to do, and I've been working on this also, is I would love for Song of Redemption to be a movie.
Yes.
And Yeah. And so, I've been nudging a number of people, hi Shonda Rhimes, hi Ava DuVernay, hi Ryan Coogler. But
Well, you know,
however
with
it
those braids, you kind of favor Ava.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I think she is stunning. But yeah, I
Yes.
mean, so the screenplay is almost done, and yeah, so I'm just that would be a dream come true if Song of Redemption is a movie. But yeah, but right about now, I'm working on number 33 and just trying to get that finalized so that I can set it out
That
into
is
the
going to
world.
be a powerful novel. Is it going to be a novel again?
It is. It
Okay.
is. So yeah, and it's not going to stay. So there's going to be some flashbacks and time traveling and all of that in this particular book. So it's going to follow the path of a genealogical path of
Mm-hmm.
whoever number 33 is. So yeah, we're not going to stay in 1802. We're going to travel to the present. We're going to travel to the 1940s. So I'm really really excited about and the 1920s. So I'm really excited about releasing this next novel.
Well, I'm
More to come on
excited
that.
for you. Congratulations on all you're doing. I'm going to be on the lookout because we're going to have you back on the show when the book is ready. I just want to see you do all of the things. I mean, I love the research that you're doing. These are the stories that we need to hear. So thank you for what you're doing.
Absolutely, and thank you for you know how much I love everything that you do, and you have allowed indie authors such as myself to have a platform and to have a voice, and therefore give a voice to others. So I'm very appreciative of you and everything that you do, all of your hard work. So
Thank
thank
you so
you.
much. Thank you so much. Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we've made it to the top of the hour. So,
Okay.
if you can just remind people where can they find your book and how can they stay in touch with you?
Sure. So you can find Song of Redemption in all formats. So you can go to malikajstevely.com. So you can find the ebook, the paperback, the hardcover, as well as the audiobook, and all of the information is on my website. It's available online wherever you get your audiobooks, and you can definitely you can go to Barnes and Noble, Amazon. You can go to Libro if you wanted to download the audiobook. I highly suggest Libro because the proceeds can go to your favorite indie bookstore. And if you want to pick up any version of the book, of the text copy of the book, go to bookshop.org. And there you can also select whichever indie bookstore you would like the proceeds to go to as well. So there's many different ways you can get Song of Redemption. And so I'm just very grateful for anyone who picks it up and reads it. And be sure to send a review as well.
All right. Well, thank you once again, Malika. Uh-oh. It sounds like you're being beckoned.
I mean, yeah, I call it happy chaos in my house. It's just,
Well, you
it's
know,
insane.
we love your baby because when we were all dancing at the Ivory and Cream affair, he was getting it. He was break
he,
dancing and everything. We loved it.
he was in his own world, both of them.
You're right. Both of them were.
Uh-huh.
No, your kids are amazing. I love them. You
Thank
have an
you.
amazing family, and it was really nice to see your family come out and support you the way they did.
Thank you. They had the best time, and especially those cookies that were there at the at the event. They tore those cookies up.
I want to let them know that. All right. But you enjoy the rest of your evening. May God bless everything that you do.
Thank
And
you.
we'll be talking again very soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. We've come to the end of another Horizons Author Lounge. Make sure you join us next week where we'll be interviewing 2 more amazing authors. And I'm going to tell you, got a surprise for you this month. If you remember the Black Panther, who was featured during the Black History Month Literary Weekend, she's coming to the show. So y'all don't want to miss that, but she's coming up later this month. Thank you, Mark, so much. And we have a lot of other great things happening. If you would like to be a guest on the Horizons Author Lounge, all you have to do is go to my website, www.mtwimagesolutions.com, and then click on the Work With Me tab, and then you'll find the Horizons Author Lounge. We are booking from June through the end of the year, and we want you to be a part of it. We have a good time on the show, as you can see. So go there you go. Just click on that link right there and get in on this fun because we're having a good time. Also, do not forget about the book Mastering the Game: 100 Insider Secrets to the Literary Industry. You're gonna find some tips, you're gonna find some stats, and you're gonna find action points that you can use to activate your writing career right now. I don't want you to miss this. The link is on the screen right now. It's also in the chat. Get a copy of this book. Like I said, it's free. All you have to do is just download it and then get to reading. And then let me know what your favorite tip was. What was that tip that resonated with you? So that's all I have, guys. It is now 8 o'clock. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening. And I will see you tomorrow night on Black Authors Matter TV. God bless you guys. I'll holler. Bye-bye.